What's up, YouTube? Vammer here. I've been working on this deck pretty much since the set came out. There's been a lot of fine-tuning to it, a lot of testing, and different things to it. Kind of been a secret project of mine for the longest time. Something I've been really wanting to do because it's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I've really been wanting to play it. That, and I was a huge fan of Luxchomp back in the day. So it gave me a reason to run one of the two again. So it is, it's Luxray, and it's a really fun version. I'll go ahead and get into it. It took a little bit just to really get the build I really wanted and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get into it. You have 3 of your basic Shinx, 1 Luxio, and then 3 of the Luxray itself. You're really only going to be using it for Flash Impact. Every now and then you might get in a crunch depending on the situation and how quick you can get your board set up. But the main thing you're going to be doing is Flash Impact. Now if you guys did play back in the Luxchomp format, Flash Impact was the attack name of Luxray G level X. What it did, it was for 1 lightning, 1 colorless back then, and I can't remember if it did 60 or 70 damage, I'd have to look, but it did 30 to one of your bench Pokemon. Now this one only does 20 to one of your bench Pokemon. And there's a reason we're playing a couple of cards like we are, and I'll get into that as soon as, to show a little bit of what you can do. But what it does is for 1 energy, which is really good anyway, for a stage 2, 1 energy, 60 damage, does 20 to one of your bench Pokemon. Which is good with these guys. It is 2 Zekrom. Sorry, trying to get this set up like I wanted it to. 2 Zekrom. They're just the regular Zekrom. With all the reprints, yeah, they've stayed legal. Especially with Legendary Treasures printing the new gold. And then because of how... so what you're going to be doing... I'll explain the next one in a second, is pretty much be putting 20 damage on these guys as much as you can, because at any point if you're playing against something, these things can tank an EX pretty quick, because at any point you can either Bolt Strike for that and then 150, and because you are playing the Plasma Bank, or the Laser Bank, you can do this plus a Silver Bangle equals 150 plus another 30 is 180. So you're one-hitting most of the biggest EXs. You're one-hitting any EX with the Plasma Bank. And then because of how popular Virizion has gotten, I am teching 1 of the Reshiram because of a next card. I'll show you a little bit of a combo as soon as I'm done with the deck profile. But if this thing gets hit with the regular Genesect, it's gonna immediately plow through the Genesect next turn for the double damage.
Can't believe you started the video without me. God, I'm supposed to be in the video, Sam.
Because it's gonna be doing 120 times 2, so you're doing 240 to a Genesect on any shot if this thing takes 100.
I opened this one.
Yeah, she opened... I didn't do it on camera just because I really wanted to open it. It was from a Sylveon collection. She opened the pack and hit the gold one. She's really...
I'm also let him get the stuff for his birthday. Awesome.
So that's really where you're going to be putting the damage for the Luxray is going to be on these guys, and then 1 more card depending on the situation. But then you're teching the 1/1 of the Solosis Reuniclus.
Oh, it's so cute.
The point of this is, if your Luxray is your active and it gets hit by something really hit hard by something, and I'll go ahead and go into the Genesect again because it's one of the hardest hitting for the 100 damage.
Like a fish egg with arms.
Because it's going to get hit. So if it's your active, it gets hit with the 100. Something gets hit with the bench. Say your Reshiram, say one of your Zekrom or your Mewtwo per se gets hit with the 20. What you can end up doing is going ahead and moving all of that damage onto your Reshiram, switching into your Reshiram, and then again doing 240 damage easy to a Genesect EX. So that's one reason he is in here, is because it is all about the control with him and making sure your damage is exactly where you want it, and anytime, every time. The other big thing with him is, because of the control aspect, he can make sure that your opponent cannot one-shot or cannot two-shot anything at any time. He also makes sure that you're trading one prize for two anytime you want, because of your big hitters of Zekrom and Reshiram. Next card's Tech 1 Mewtwo EX, because we are playing 4 double colorless. He's good at any time. He's good to go anytime. Mewtwo's become a little more popular, so at any point, you've done damage, they've done some damage to your Zekrom, you've done damage to them, you shove out a Mewtwo and plow through their Mewtwo. Or anything, whatever. Then we've got the 1 Buffalont with the Boffer. One of the big things with him is, like I said, because we're playing the double colorless, you can use him with Silver Bangle. So you're doing 150 at any time with the Silver Bangle against an EX. And then with Plasma Bank, you're knocking out any EX with him as well. And Buffer just makes him amazing. Again, I'll get into some of the combos with the Pokemon at the end. Last Pokemon is Keldeo EX, just for the rush-in. If you get Plasma Banked, or Laser Banked, it's pretty self-explanatory on that one. Just for rush-in. Supporters, 3 Professor Juniper. It's like I've told you guys, I'm never gonna run 4 Juniper. I hate running 4 Juniper because my luck is they always clog. I finally conformed and started playing 4N though, because Disruption is amazing. Really don't need to go over the main staple supporters. 2 Skyla, it's like I've told you, they clog me all the time. And because you are gonna have a quick bench, Colress, he's good. Get supporters out of the way. Trainers. 4 Rare Candy. Self-explanatory, you're running a stage 2, you're going to be running these. So, and these are my favorite art, so I had to pick them up. 4 Laser. Again, self-explanatory. 2 Bank. 2 Bank. I don't see a point to any more than 2 Bank. I know people are playing 3 and 4 Beach now, which is ridiculous, just because of how expensive those stupid things are. Then going to Level Ball, they're pretty much just to get your Shanks and your Solosis. Because things are going to be taking some damage and possibly getting knocked out really quick, you're going to make sure your Super Rods are good to go, because you're going to shuffle your energy back and want to go after them. 2 Switch, kind of like I was talking about. Once you put damage around and get it going, you can switch into your Pokemon really quick and make sure that you're doing as much damage as you want at any time that you really want. Sorry, disorganized. For tools, we're doing double Silver Bangle. I wanted to fit in more, but there literally was just not room. Everything other than 2 cards are non-EX, so anything can abuse them, other than, well, the Reuniclus. These are for anything, mainly Keldeo, but you can use them. If for some reason you can't find your energy quick enough, to make sure your Luxray is going off, you're going to be playing the Energy Search. And then because most things take really low energy cost in the deck, I'm going to be playing the 1 Max Potion. I'd like to play more, but again, this deck is really tight on room. It's like I said, this deck took me a while to really put together because there's a lot I wanted to do with the deck. Energy. So we're doing 8 Lightning Energy. The only thing you're really going to be attaching it to is 1 to the Luxray and maybe 2 to 3 to your Zekrom. So this is pretty basic for the energy. Ooh, that went way over. So yeah, it's just pretty quick, pretty easy. Because of low energy count, you're just going to be playing that. And then 4 double colors because Mewtwo, Zekrom, Reshiram, Buffalont, those are going to be the 4 that you're mainly using. So you can do that at any point. That thing never wants to work for me. Come on. There we go. So that's the deck. Like I said, I'm going to go into a little bit of the combos you can do. One of the big things you can do is if you're not setting up as quick as you want to, you can't find your Zekrom, you can't find your Reshiram to get your damage put down. Because of Buffer, specifically designating that any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 20, because he's on the bench, and if you're wanting to Flash Impact, you can target him for the 20 damage, because it says does 20 damage to a Pokemon. That is still considered damage from an attack. So he will not take any of the 20 damage. So that's one of the big things there, is because, like I said, if you cannot find anything quick enough, cannot get to your Zekrom, Reshiram, whatever, you're still doing 60 to 90 if it has a Bangle on it every turn with him. And then, because he's not going to be taking anything, you can just keep targeting him over and over, and still just making sure that everything's getting going like you want to. This guy. Let's go into this guy. So these guys, a lot of people used to run the Regoth. So everyone knows how the Regoth thing worked. The Gothitelle lock into Reuniclus, shoving damage around onto the big guys and then going to attack. That's pretty much going to be the same basis for this.
Huh.
What?
Surprised it's only 11 minutes long.
Yeah, I know.
Started after I got the shower.
So it's pretty much the same basic concept here, but you're going to be making sure that your Luxray stays alive as much as possible, because with Reuniclus, you're going to be making sure that you're trading one prize on these and these for 2 prizes on their EXs every time. So you're going to make sure, and that's one of the big things about Max Potion, is if you shove this onto, say, all this damage onto Keldeo twice from this, like this takes 80, takes another 80, you keep shoving it onto Keldeo, Keldeo is never going to have energy, you just got 2 free attacks for nothing, and then after that you just keep moving them. For those 2 turns, you got 2 free turns of no damage at that point, basically. So it's one of the big things you can do, is you can move damage around, and that is why he is in here. Even without him, the deck is still very solid, but to me, he was very essential that I wanted to make sure that I played him to control my damage ratio. It's one of the reasons people with Empoleon started playing Dusknoir. They wanted to control their damage output ratio to make sure that their max attack, I cannot remember the max attack, I can't think of Empoleon's attack name, I don't know why. They wanted to make sure that it is doing as much damage as it can, so they attack with it, and then your opponent plops down a couple of basic benches, you move that damage around, mass attack, that's what it is.
Are you using the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You use the mass attack, and then next turn, Dusknoir, that damage, move it around, you mass attack again, you can take out 3 Pokemon at one point, or even take out an EX just after 2 attacks, and even take out another basic. So that was why people started playing Dusknoir, because it is very good in that deck, and that's why I'm playing this in here, is because I want to make sure I control my damage output and my damage ratio onto my own Pokemon.
Let me see the purple one. I already looked at it.
So this is the deck in a nutshell. It's just something really fun. Like I said, it's something I've really been wanting to put together. Something that just really interested me. Luxray was a really fun deck back with Lux Chomp. I loved the deck. It worked for me. I played Garchomp Altaria when it first came out, so I played Garchomp. I don't think I'll ever stop playing at least one or the other. So I hope you guys like the deck, and I'm hoping this will actually be the thumbnail.
Oh, that what it is?
So let me know what you guys think.
You see everything.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, because like I said, I put a ton of thought and time into the deck because it was something I really wanted to do, because this guy is just a lot of fun. So I will catch you guys.
Wait.
What?
You did point out each one and tell them what it is, right?
Yeah, why?
Because you can't tell what that one is at all. It's like black.
I know. So I hope you guys like this. I will catch you guys later. Peace.